iFly 737, we can go into the menu, simulation, and ask for a pushback. And we're asking for a straight pushback. I probably should have got them to turn the nose for me. Don't! I wonder if I can do it now. Let's see, we're going to be turning it right. Oh, it stopped on me. Oh, cool. Okay, so there we go. So they're going to be pushing us back, and I'm going to pretend that they talked to me, and I'm going to pretend they told me to take that off, the parking brakes, because otherwise the plane they'd have a hard time moving the plane. So while that's happening, we want to start the engines now. So we got to turn off the packs so that we have a little more air available, and we're going to start engine 2. A lot of people start engine 1. I don't. I start engine 2 first, and most of the ones I've seen in real life, they do it as well. I've seen some tutorials online, and they always start with number 1. I'm not sure why. So that's going. Oops, I should be jumping over to the throttle here. N2's 25%, so we're going to hit the fuel to idle. Now I should be sitting here holding my finger patiently on this thing in case we have a fire, but this is flight sim and I'm lazy and I want this done quick, so I'm just going to jump over here before this even pops back to auto, which it will once the engine gets going. I'm going to put this one on ground, and look, it just happened. Cool. So engine 1 is going. Whoa, they're taking us right out the end of the... Oh, that was a close one. Okay, so yeah, we're up to 25 again on N2. Fuel cut off. Everybody's happy. And oh, there goes our pushback guy, so we're just going to throw on the brakes because he told us to, right? I don't know if it's up to the scenery or up to the plane, but they should all make it so that the ground crew talks to us. I know there's AES out there, but I don't fly those big fancy airports for the most part because they're too far away from each other. Everybody's happy, all the lights are off, everybody's good. We didn't start a fire or anything, so sweet. We can turn off our throttle display. I'm going to cough. Cover your ears. Thank you. Sorry about that. So, everybody's happy with our pushback and start engines. We got our parking brakes are set. And we do our before taxi procedure. And it's mostly done, of course, on the overhead. So we're going to turn on our generators, 1 and 2, for engine 1 and engine 2. So now engine 1 and engine 2 are both generating in the electricity for us. See that one and see that one. Gen 1 and Gen 2, they're both powering nicely. So now, since we're about to roll out to the runway, we can turn on our pitot heaters and get those, or I guess they call them probe heats now, sorry. The probe heaters to get those warmed up. And of course, still summer, don't need anti-ice of either kind. Pack switch, we're going to set the packs to auto, get some air moving, cool everybody off, everybody's happy. We're going to set the isolation valve back to auto, and we're going to turn off the air bleed switch. And of course, since we did that, we can also, sorry, that was the APU bleed, air bleed, so we're going to turn the APU off as well with this little button here. And since we're about to take off, we're going to be setting these engine to continuous ignite, I guess, so that there's less chance of a flame out or whatever you want to call it. Engines aren't going to turn off on us while we're taking off and going through turbulent air and stuff like that. We are also going to set our flaps to 5, like we said in our pre-flight. I guess this is the pre-flight. In our planning. Yeah, so we're on flaps 5, and that is checked. And I don't have a guy sitting here that can cross-check for me, so if I screw up, be nice. Just be nice. Oh, we got to turn off our lower engine display and bring it back up to here because we want to be able to check that out without having to bring up the throttle display all the time. And of course, lights as needed. So we are going to be taxiing, so we're going to turn on our taxi. Some people turn on the runway to turn off, some people don't. I usually don't, but I'm going to now because, you know, I like to do things differently and keep myself on edge. And at this point, we are allowed to taxi, so we'd be talking to ATC and telling them we want to taxi, and they'd tell us to go out that way. Whatever those are. So we're going to take the brakes off, we're going to give it a little bit of thrust, a little more than that, maybe 28 or so. Come on, plane. Yeah! And we'll start moving. Bye, Charlottetown. So we're cruising down the taxiway. That's probably fast enough. I'll just throttle back a bit. So, as we're going, let's talk about our takeoff. Normally you do lots, well, normally, one part that I skipped was safety briefing. You know, basically what happens is if you're, I'll just run through it quick. You're supposed to do it before you even do all that pre-flight stuff. But we're going to be cruising down here, and we're going to be taking off. And when we hit about 80 knots, we're not allowed to really stop anymore unless there's like really bad shit happening. Oops, I said shit. Sorry about that. Bad stuff. Unless there's lots of bad stuff happening, like things in the way, engines on fire, stuff. Even the engines on fire, sometimes you just keep going, especially if it's after 80 knots. Once you hit V1, then you got no choice. You're taking off, and it doesn't matter if there's a brick wall in front of you. So, yeah. So what you're going to do then is you're going to take off. And you're going to do everything normal, and you're going to go. Anyway, this is the whole safety briefing. Big deal. I don't normally do it because by myself, and my wife looks at me funny if I try. So, so that's that. I was just, you know, I always wanted to try it. So since you know, people are in theory going to be listening to me, there you go. So we are quickly approaching. Well, not very quickly. I'm taxiing a little slow. Come on, guys, let's go. Give us a little more oomph. There we go. All right, making it around the corner here. Wow, I'm getting really bad frame rates right now. Weird. I'm getting like maybe 20 or so. I can tell. Huh. Usually I get a lot more. Maybe it must be the screen capturing stuff, eating up my frame rates. Okay, so we're holding short of runway 3. We are going to take off shortly, and we'll be talking to ATC and, you know, check it around. We're going to take. Right now, we're just going to take a peek and make sure nobody's coming. Nope, nobody's coming. That was a quick check. So what we're going to do real quick here, and I just took my finger off the brakes because I am using those. Strobe. We're going to turn the strobe on. Fixed landing lights on. Transponder mode. Transponder mode to TRRA. And we should be, oh, it's creeping towards the runway. We should be lining up right now. So we're going to line up here, and then we're going to advance the thrust levers to 40%. And at that point, they're going to stabilize, and then we're going to hit the takeoff go-around button, which in this case is on the MCP panel, which is a little weird, but whatever. That's okay. iFly put it there. I like it because I don't have a special button on my joystick or throttle.